This has been an epic playoff so far. MVPs are getting bounced, young upstart teams are proving they are a lot closer than we expected, and super duper stars are playing like, well, super duper stars. This is the first time in years where I think all 8 conference semifinal teams have a legit chance to make the finals and win the whole thing. Each team has a legit reason why they can win it all, but also have a glaring limiter that will hold them back from doing just that, so let's get into it.
Let's go get that crown.
The Cavs have one reason that they're going to win the whole thing, and that's because they are deep and strong. This team is full of a bunch of guys that play the right way and play together. They proved that by having the best record in the East and destroying the Miami Heat by the largest scoring margin in NBA history of 122 points.
Cavs, let them know we got the hat right here on the desk. Shout out to our social and digital director, Rob Lorenzo, avid Cavs fan. Made light work of the Miami Heat in the Kaseya Center. Where's the professional pride from the Miami Heat?
That's right. Largest series clinching win in NBA postseason history.
Why they won't, though, is that they are using all that depth right now because 3 of their top 6 players are out. It's damn near impossible to lose half of your best players in the playoffs and still win the title, so unless the health fairy is coming to save them, it's going to be a short playoffs run. The reason the Indiana Pacers will is because this team has an identity and a style, and it's scary. They run down your throat. They don't relent, they don't slow, ever, and Tyrese Halliburton is probably the best old school point guard in the NBA.
They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Halliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Halliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart. And it is over. Indiana.
He is the epitome of a pass-first player, and the best part is the rest of the team knows it. They run and move because they know that ball is coming if they do. However, why they won't is because at the end of the day, to win an NBA title, you need to have a top 10 player in the league. Now, I love Tyrese Halliburton, but I don't know if he's that right now or if he ever will be, but if he proves he is this playoffs, I'll be happy to witness it. The path to the finals for the Celtics is the same way they did it last year, so that kind of proves that they can do it, right? For real though, they have the experience and the talent to run right through the rest of the teams and be the first repeat champs since the Durant-era Warriors, but they won't because health, plain and simple. They are already really banged up. Jason Tatum has a hurt wrist, Drew Holiday barely played in the first round, and Jaylen Brown looks like his knee is far from 100%. Al Horford is still really old, and then there's Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, he only played in 42 games this season, and he has an injury history that rivals Anthony Davis. Sorry, Mavs fans. Last season was his only injury-free year, and they won the title. So when he is healthy, this team is unbeatable, but the question is he ever really healthy? The New York Knicks have 5 really good players that could lead them to the finals. Their starters are awesome. They play well together and play both ends of the floor, and play almost the whole game. Now, I don't know if anybody left can match their top 5 when they're all clicking. Oh, and they have the clutch player of the year and a dude who is on a mission every game to rip the hearts out of opposing fans in Jalen Brunson. That is a great reason why they'll win. However, that's also the same reason why they won't, because they spent all their capital in getting the top 5 that they don't really have much else. If one of them goes down, the dream is over for the Knicks.
Nice.
Now, with the Thunder, I've already gone through this with them in another video, but I'll give you the synopsis of that right here. They have really good players, a versatile offense, an elite defense, and ultimate team camaraderie. But they're also so young. They haven't been through the battles, had their heart broken enough, and grown from disappointment and failures.
47 games for you with at least 30 this season. That ties the Thunder record. How are you just so consistent, like the Tide, night in and night out?
My whole life is consistent. Everything I do.
They have everything else, though. The Nuggets' path to the finals is easy. Jokic, he's the best player on the planet, and it's not even close. He controls every aspect of every game he is in. He is playing at an all-time level, the likes of which we have never seen. I'm not just saying that for effect either.
Jokic has it. Clock ticks, gotta put one up. Jokic for the win. Oh! It's good! Jokic got it off in time!
He is playing his best ball ever and getting the most out of his teammates. However, the reason that they won't get to the finals is because he doesn't really have a lot of teammates. They really only play 6, maybe 7 guys, and one of them, in Michael Porter Jr., is wearing a football pad on his shoulder and needs help getting his jersey on and off. The ones that play with Jokic are awesome together, but to expect Jokic to lead this team through the rest of the teams is a lot to ask, but it's not impossible because, he did it before, right? Minnesota looked awesome in the first round. Their absolute destruction of the Lakers was quite surprising. They're tough, they play great defense, and are clicking like never before on offense. This team is scary, and you add to that they have Anthony Edwards, a guy trying to rip the league out of everybody else's hands and keep it for himself. Remember earlier I said you need a top 10 player to win the title? Well, he is one of those. However, the reason the Timberwolves won't get to the finals is because each of their players has one deficiency, and if they all line up, it spells doom for the T-Wolves. Ant gets happy when he's at the 3-point line. Julius Randle might turn back into his old self at any point. Naz Reid and Dante DiVincenzo can go cold. Rudy Gobert is, Rudy Gobert. Mike Conley is old, and Jaden McDaniels has a tendency to disappear. If only one or two of those things happens, they can get by, but any more than that, and they'll be gone in the second round.
Oh my God! Wow!
The Warriors' path to the finals is because, they're the Warriors, and from experience of the last 10 to 12 years, they usually just win. Steve Kerr is a great coach, Draymond Green is the best defender of his generation, Playoff Jimmy is real, a role player always seems to step up when they need it most, and then there is Steph Curry. Just having him on your team gives you a chance. He just tilts so much on the court in the Warriors' favor that they are always a threat. However, the reason they won't get to the finals for me is age and inexperience of their role players. There's no current role player that has the playoff chops that the past Warriors teams have had. At some point, they will need them to show up like Buddy Hield did in Game 7 of Round 1, but to keep counting on that is a tall ask. Steph is 37, Jimmy and Draymond are 35, and it's a tall ask to expect them to run through the rest of the league at their age. Impossible? Maybe, but as the great Kevin Garnett says,
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
So there you go. That's how each of the final 8 teams in the playoffs can win it all, and why they won't. Now, I have no idea how any of these series are going to play out, but I am super excited to watch and find out with all of you. For more on these out-of-control playoffs, check out my video about the first round and the 3 key takeaways that I have seen so far this postseason, and how it's going to shape the future of the NBA as a whole. And if you like this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.